what do I want the next chapter of my life to be? What is something I really want to try or learn, or like a new skill, or maybe a career pivot, start a new business. Like the sky's the limit. The possibilities and the number of potential yous in the future that you could create is unlimited. Hi, welcome to Fireside Rebels. I'm Carol Ann. Today I'm going to have a little bit of a rebel rant. I'm going to talk about using your voice, speaking up and using your voice for good, for asking for what you need. Because if you don't ask for what you need, how's anybody supposed to know what you need, including yourself? So this started from a little bit of a story. In my community, we have a planned power outage today and a couple weeks ago. They're doing work on the electrical service for the whole communities to make it more stable. And so in my spare time, I'm the president of this seniors housing society this rental apartments, 4 different rental apartment buildings. And I built the one in my day job, 34 units. And so that one's been open for several years, 2022. And so I get a very firm, very angry email after the last planned 12-hour power outage a couple weeks ago from a tenant, basically accusing me and not me personally, but accusing the society of negligence, because when the power, even though we gave them lots of warning, everybody in the community got warning from the hydro company, and that this planned outage was 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And in this building, we have an elevator. So we were like, the elevator's not going to work. You have to use the stairs, yada, yada. So, and we've had other planned power outages, a couple of them last year for upgrading transformers and doing work. And some in the wintertime, storms take down trees on the power lines, and sometimes the power's out. So we let the tenants know this was just a reminder that the elevator's not going to be working on Sunday on this date, these 2 dates. You have to use stairs. And there's also an automated entry system, fob system, that you swipe a fob at the front door to save having to make so many keys that just need to get changed all the time. So needless to say, we get this very firm, very accusatory email, I do, on the night after the power came back on, that the society was negligent, and how could they do this to seniors, that the stairwells, that there's no windows in those stairwells, just bad design, I guess. I don't know, between me and the architect and the contractors, and the board, none of us thought, oh, there should be windows in the stairwell. I think we probably talked about it and thought, oh, let's just save money and not have windows in the stairwells, because they're emergency fire exit stairwells. And yeah, we're trying to keep the cost down for the seniors rental building. Anyway, so we get this email that the emergency lights that come on in the case of a power outage, we have emergency lights throughout the building, and in the stairwells, in the hallways, everywhere, that the emergency lights only lasted a couple hours and then they were out. So the stairways that for 4-story building that these seniors were to use, because the elevator wasn't working, were pitch black. And this is the first time I'm hearing about it since 4 years, or three and a bit years, that there's no lights in the stairwells when there's an extended power outage. And they were locked out of the building for a portion of the day because this fob automatic entry system quit working because of the power outage, because the battery apparently only lasts a certain amount of time. Same with the emergency lights. I talked to the electrician. I'm like, what the heck? And the electrician is like, these are only meant to last 30 minutes. These emergency lights, this is standard practice. The emergency lights are only meant to come on and assist people exiting the building in an emergency. They're not designed, they don't have long life batteries. I'm like, it would have been really nice if somebody told me this. Like, and I built the building and I didn't know this. Like, I thought the emergency lights would stay on for hours and hours. I thought they'd stay on for days. I don't know what I was thinking. Same with the fob system. We actually just had the trade that does all the doors locking mechanisms and all that stuff, just put another battery to make sure that we had extended usage, and that both batteries died by 2 p.m. because so many people swiping it to come into the building. I'm like, what? Like, so yeah. So I'm grateful to the tenant who emailed me and copied the housing manager. I'm grateful that they let us know that these issues happened, because this is the first time hearing about it. And apparently it's happened every time and nobody told me. Like, nobody reported it. Nobody, I don't know if they talked to the maintenance person, but, and apparently at one point when the fob system wasn't working, somebody taped the latch open and those people moved. So nobody else thought to tape the door open so they could get back in. I don't know. Use your voice. If you need someone of authority or someone to know something, that something's not working, and this is from my time on city council as well, let them know. Send letters, make phone calls, let people know if you need something to happen, but do it respectfully, because you get more action if you're polite and respectful, and and offer a potential solution, or like, so I mean, I appreciated this tenant letting me know, but they were quite rude about it and making accusations that we were liable, and that it's like, I don't live in the building. I built the building, but no one ever told me that the emergency exit lights in the stairwells are going to go out in well, they're only designed to last 30 minutes. I guess they lasted a few hours in some cases. So if nobody tells me this stuff, how am I supposed to know? So yeah, be respectful and be like, offer a solution. Same when it comes to like local government stuff. If there's a problem in your community, you want your council to know, or you want to ask your council to do something, be respectful, be kind. They're just people. And I'll tell you, council does not really run the show. Council approves budgets and approves direction to staff, but they don't, the council as a whole has to just make decisions after things are brought to them. So I found it very, very helpful when community members would bring forward something to council, because I was on city council for 8 years in my other life. It was very helpful when citizens would bring forward issues to council with a very respectful letter, come as a delegation, and ask council to change a bylaw or address an issue, or answer questions. It definitely, make your voice heard, help council understand what's going on in the community. What's not helpful is like being ignorant and attacking and accusatory, and that's not the way to get anything done. But yeah, I definitely want to encourage people to use their voices. And it just makes me think about if we don't ask for what we want or what we need, then how are we supposed to get it? So this is just a perfect example of, if like this, the society's board didn't know, I didn't know that there was an issue at the building in a power outage. So now we have a generator hooked up, and I haven't had any calls so far, but we have a generator hooked up to have all the hallway lights and the stairway exit lights and all the main lights in the building on, and the entry door system. So as long as that generator and the electricians are coming by and checking on it, as long as that's operating, it's only going to happen today because it's a controlled, planned power outage. We can't obviously do that, to set up a generator every time the power goes out because a tree comes down on the wires. But We made a right away. I said, we'll come up with a solution because we knew there was another planned outage 2 weeks later, and we dealt with it because someone made their voice heard. So it's like, not only if you need other people to respond to what you need, but if you need the universe to understand what you need. There's a lot of talk about manifestation and manifesting what you want, what you need. You need to let the universe know what you need, and you need to let yourself know what you need. So, you know, taking time and thinking about what you really want, especially in midlife, like what do I want the next chapter of my life to be? What is something I really want to try or learn, or like a new skill, or maybe a career pivot, start a new business. Like the sky's the limit. The possibilities and the number of potential yous in the future that you could create is unlimited, and or only limited by your own limitations that you put on yourself. So it's pretty fascinating. But yeah, I just wanted to sort of encourage you to think about what you want and tell the universe, tell your higher self, tell your inner self, this is what I want to do, and start making moves toward that. And if there's things externally to you that you need to change, or you want to just let, higher levels of government know, definitely write letters, make phone calls, show up at council meetings, and be respectful, and just say, this is an issue, I would like you to deal with it, and offer solutions. It's always great in those cases to have, a lot of times citizens have the better ideas than anybody on council could come up with, because they're just people too, and they only know what they know. And staff is quite often overwhelmed and overworked and limited in what they can do. So a lot of times, if there's a solution coming from someone in the community, it's usually a really good one. So use your voice and make it heard, and try to get other people on board with what you want to see happen. So I just wanted to share that today, my little rebel rant, and encourage you to let your voice be heard and say what you need of yourself and the universe and everyone around you. So I hope that was helpful, and let's ignite our second act. See you next time. Bye.